Hello guys, Furball the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, is back again, and you guys may have realized by now that I'm enlisted into the army from my previous videos. But how am I still making videos, you may be wondering. Basically, I make videos in advance on the weekends before I leave my home for 5 days and schedule uploads, and it's basically not too bad considering I only make 2 videos a week. So I'm from Singapore, and the army here is supposed to be used when diplomacy fails, and I'm quite unlikely to go to war, so don't worry about your hamster here. I am not going to be losing a limb or a leg or an arm after I come back after 5 days. There is no war being involved, no one's dying. At least not for now. And let's hopefully pray that continues. Anyways, for those who are not from Singapore, here is some context. It is mandatory for me to serve the army for 2 years and my weekends will be free. However, this does mean that I will have to let go of tryharding Skyblock or any game and revert to being a more casual player, just like how games should be played, to have fun. Anyways, let's move on. The first 2 weeks of my life in the army has been relatively smooth, yet challenging, because the first 3 months in the army is mainly physical training for your raw physical strength, before you are going to be holding a gun or throwing a grenade or doing the fancy things that we all see in movie shows which soldiers do. Basically, for the first 2 weeks we were doing physical training, such as doing sets of exercises, with each set containing 10 different exercises such as burpees, lunges, planking, push-ups, leg raises, crunches, and anything you think about. You will be doing 10 exercises and each exercise in 5 sets of 4 before getting a short 20-second break between each exercise and moving on to the next exercise. Overall, it was relatively manageable at the start, and the worst type of training is known as a circuit conditioning training. Now just imagine replacing the 20-second breaks with a 400-meter jog around the entire track and to return just to do another exercise with limited rest. And failure to finish a 400-meter jog under the time limit results in everyone to do additional exercises. How fun, right? One person screwing up, everyone screws up as well. Now, I know for some of you buff people out there, these sounds easy, and you know what? You're weird. You know what? Just kidding. Anyways, I'm relatively unfit, so these exercises are really exhausting for me, and coming from the usual 8 to 12 hours of grinding daily at a computer to living a physically intense life, it was quite a hard transition, that I must say so myself. My knees started to hurt due to the intensity of the training, in contrast to what I was doing 2 weeks ago, which was sitting at a computer all day editing videos or grinding, hurting my knees so much because of the huge transition. With every single new day, I was literally walking in a different pattern. Like, just imagine walking, but with every step you take on your left foot, your kneecaps are being stabbed. I eventually went to see the doctor, and I was given 3 days to rest and to heal along the painkillers. However, after the 3 days, my knees got a bit better. I was able to walk a bit more normally, but the pain is still there, and even till now, when I came back from the weekends, I still can't exactly walk properly, and I have no idea what's wrong. But basically, as a whole, considering how life right now is just physical conditioning daily, 2 times a day, it really is rather manageable. In fact, I'd argue that it's easier than school, because once the day is over, or when the weekends arrive, it's really over. You are basically free, and there's nothing to worry about. In the army, there aren't exams or homework to prepare for the next day, which is a really nice thing, because I've honestly never felt so stress-free in all my years of living. But as for the army life, or living with 15 other guys in a room which I have never met before, it was surprisingly quite smooth. Anyways, because my bunkmates are really helpful, since they were in uniform groups before and knew the basics of army life and helped me get used to it, such as the different types of attire the army uses, learning how to tie your boots and polishing boots properly. And to be completely honest with you guys, in the first few days of the army, we had 20 minutes to change to our long fort, and after 20 minutes I feared being late, and I went down without being prepared. Like, I basically tried my best to wear as much as I could to look as similar as what is expected to me, but basically I went down with my belt in hand, my boots untied, and my long pants dragging on the ground. It was a beautiful sight. And yes, it was a chaotic mess due to my inexperience, and a couple of my section mates had to help me wear my belt, tie my boots properly, and tuck in the ends of my pants, like, just to look neat so I don't get scolded. But I'm glad to say that after the horrific accident that day, or the horrific freak accident where I couldn't even change my attire in 20 minutes, I can now change to that attire in 10 minutes after that mess, after learning how to tie my boots and how to fold my pants properly. As a whole, I don't think being conscripted for me was really bad because I used to lead a really sedentary lifestyle, and this shift was a positive one. And I must say that when I came back home and logged onto Skyblock and Wynncraft, I had a lot of fun and I really enjoyed playing the game for what the game is and not just to play games just to make more content. It made me enjoy the games I play, helped me lead a healthier life, lose weight, and even make new friends and still get paid at the same time. And honestly, I hope my sergeants aren't watching this, but my sergeants are really nice people who care about my well-being and injuries in training, and basically even though they are my superiors, they aren't just uptight people who punish you for fun. They actually have fun with us recruits but are also serious when it comes to work, but are still nice people at heart. Same with all of my section mates and the other 15 people I am with for the next 5 months. To be honest, my life would be completely devastating if I got unlucky and get dealt with unhelpful section mates and sergeants who just aren't as kind. And personally, I do appreciate and am glad that I was finally handed a good hand once in a while in my entire life, which for once made my life a bit easier in transitioning to the army life. And if you are one of my sergeants or platoon or even section mates who checked out my channel because you heard of my existence and are still watching, thank you for being there and taking care of me even though I was the weakest one in the entire section as well as being the least experienced. And with that, this is Furball the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, signing out.